Paris, you have covered so many high-profile trials, and yesterday in the courtroom, we sort of had a visceral reaction to an incident in the courtroom when, during closing arguments, the prosecutor raised up the actual AR-15 rifle that Rittenhouse had used and pointed the rifle at people in the courtroom after asking on the mic, "Make sure the gun is empty." What do you make of that?
Well, my initial reaction was, does he have the experience and the acumen to make sure it's not chambered? Does he understand how to make that a safe situation before he points a gun at 12 people? Because regardless of what the guy in the little blue gloves does, I didn't hear him in the courtroom be deposed and say, "Are you certain that this gun is blah, 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 blah? Are you certain this is..." On the record, like, I want to see something like that. On the heels of what we've seen on a movie set in the last 60 days with Alec Baldwin, I think it's more than fair to say, let's make sure that this is a safe situation. And then just, I don't know, you're an attorney, you've been in a courtroom situation, Emily. What good does it do to point the gun at the jury? I mean, if you're trying to say, and I know that this was the prosecution's argument, that Kyle Rittenhouse was the aggressor. Well, now the only person who looks like an aggressor to me is Thomas Binger, the prosecutor, who, by the way, didn't even take the safety of himself into his own hands. Like, I would want to look at that gun. And if you don't have the experience in that moment to be able to do that, put it down. I don't need that much drama. I don't think the courtroom needs that much drama. And he's backfired on himself so many times, no pun intended with that use of words, but it is. It's a reverb on him, his mistakes. What's he going for here? Is this like the 11th hour, last-ditch effort with a gun?
I mean, at a minimum, he broke a fundamental rule of gun safety, which is don't point the weapon at anything you're not prepared to shoot. Boom. And secondly, I think, without pun intended, he shot himself in the foot by that antic that absolutely backfired to all of the points that you made. With safety as the fundamental concern, with the tragedy on the heels of this trifold tragedy that this trial centers around, for him to do that in the courthouse, it did him no favors. He gave that
courtroom a visual of what an aggressor looks like.
This is true. With his face attached.
With his face,
yes. And Pete, I'd like to show for you another antic on the prosecutor's part here, where he attacked the defendant's emotional testimony, and then he praised the rioters in Kenosha last year. Take a watch.
He showed no remorse for his victims, never tried to help anybody that he hurt, and even on the witness stand, when he testified on Wednesday, he broke down crying about himself, not about anybody that he hurt that night. In this case, the crowd was right. The crowd knew the defendant had just shot someone. When they're coming after him, they know he's just shot and killed Joseph Rosenbaum. But you know, not every active shooter situation is the crowd have perfect knowledge, and that crowd was full of heroes.
Yeah, this guy made a fool of himself. I mean, talk about pompous. And every time he talked about the skateboard or the foot on his skull, those are not weapons. How could you? There was a mob chasing this kid at this point. Every decision he's making is that if I'm knocked unconscious, if I fall, the mob descends. How many times have we seen that video? So those weapons become deadly. Anyone who's watching that with common sense. And his handling of the rifle, first of all, the way he talked about ammunition in the rifle earlier showed how little he knows. Then he barely puts it on his shoulder, holds it delicately, and puts his finger in the trigger well. Anyone who's carried a rifle ever would never put their finger in the trigger well in a room full of people. You know why he didn't clear it to check it? Because he doesn't know how to.
Doesn't know.
And he made a fool of himself in that process. It's bad news for him.
Absolutely. Well, we will let you know immediately upon what those 12 jurors end up deciding.